Hello, this is Elijah Ignatieff of the School of Conscious Communication, and I'm with Lorianne Bandura, a faculty teacher in the school. And Lorianne has been around a long time with the info matrix, and she can actually understand what I'm talking about, which is very nice. And I would like to share the significance of a new map with you, Lorianne, today.
I'm excited.
And let me just get the screen share. Maybe as I'm looking, you can tell our viewer audience of what you think of like inflow matrix maps.
Okay, well, maybe what I'll do is just give you a little bit of a story from the very beginning when I walked into this house that I was invited to see this eccentric artist who was apparently a genius and unable to, sort of communicate to the regular peoples of the planet.
What?
And I was asked to go there because I was studying holistic systems and the holistic arts, healing arts, and I have a bit of an artistic side to me as well, and so I was encouraged to go, and I went on my own after almost being hit by a huge van, and I walked into this place and I stood on front of this painted table. I'm not sure if the people that are watching know Wayne Dyer, but he talks about quantum moments being moments that you have in your mind, a sense of clarity and a sense of peace, and they change your life forever. And that's exactly what happened when I walked into that place and I stood at that table and I looked at this inflow matrix map, and everything about the world integrated for me just instantly. I understood where everything was in terms of how it placed with other components of the world, and I struggled to understand that in my own personal life. So when that particular moment happened, I knew without a doubt that my life had something to do with the inflow matrix forevermore, and my sole purpose became studying this. So I took 3 years off. I understudied Elijah. I left sort of life, called the CRA, and said, what do I have to do in order to leave regular rat race world and not have anything to do with the government? And so they gave me all the instructions that I needed, and I followed Elijah, and I studied the background systems for 3 years, and then I started to apply them into my life. And so what's happened for me is that the maps that I have and the systems and the tools have integrated fully. And I would say that the most significant thing for me is not just an organization of thoughts and a greater understanding of the world, but a clearer and more conscious communication line with the infinite intelligence that exists. And there's sort of no price that you can put on being able to accomplish that in your life. I think that's something that we all strive for, that sense of peace and connection. And the communication is back and forth using this tool. So that's probably the most significant thing. And I see this map, and this is pretty exciting.
Okay, so this is kind of like, you'll like this because this is like more the right approach map. And as you can see, there's sort of like 8 different rights. There's the right configuration up here. It won't stick there. It keeps.
Does it have to bounce back and forth? It's kind of.
No. I'm trying to get the whole thing in, but it keeps bouncing. It's not doing it. Okay, so right here at the top left is right configuration.
Okay.
Then at the 7 position is right assessment. Then lower left is right conditions.
Okay, hold on. So it goes to 6, right approach.
Yeah.
And
right
then
approach 2.6 is in the middle.
And then right people.
Right people is
8, 7,
bottom
6,
right.
5, and then 4 over to right conditions. And then 3.
3 is right work in the bottom middle.
Oh, sorry, I can't see that. Okay, right work, yeah. And then right use is 2. And then at the top there is 1, and it's
right place.
right place. So just for those of you that are looking at this and you're wondering, oh, okay, well, how do you know the numbers and how do you know where they go? And the brilliance of the info matrix is not just that it has a cross-reference numbering system, but also it's color
Coded.
Thank you.
So, and there's a lot of different ways to configure. So when you say right configuration at the top left, configurations are just arrangements of concepts on a certain pattern. And so what you want to do in the inflow is you want to put the right map in the right situation. So there's all these different maps, and they all represent different things, but you want to use the right map at the right time. Now what this is this is a very sophisticated map. It has, but I can't, I'm trying, I keep bringing it in, but it won't do that, so you can't see it.
No, it's fine if it's left out, and then I get to see everything.
Okay, can you see everything?
It's sort of cut off at the top, but when you have it a little smaller, it works better.
I know, but I can't make it smaller.
Oh yeah,
That's
okay.
the problem.
But that's fine. Where it is just fine.
Okay. Okay, so this is also looking at a primary 4 team where you have a cycle designer, an event organizer, an activity builder, and a conversation promoter. Right now, I brought in Miss Plum, who's working with me on the Love Prophet, and she's been working quite closely with me. And this is just one potential team. I mean, perhaps Justine is better in the promotional spot. I think I might have. Anyway.
In case any of you wonder what Elijah does in his pastime. See all those maps?
I did this Friday night. All these maps. I made like over 70 of them, I think.
This full moon has been really amazing, hey?
This whole weekend, I was just pumping workout, like pumping. It's something got turned on, and I'm zooming like crazy. But it's like, again, it's like larger water spouts doesn't necessarily mean, you know, more peaceful life. Now it's sort of like the Sorcerer's Apprentice, and everything's sort of turned on high. So you got to be careful. Anyways, so if I just want to sort of go back before we even add words, is it's like looking at a structure that is, it's like, this is the swastika, right? A swastika with a thing going back into the middle. And if you turn it, it's like moving energy in a spiral. Mm-hmm. So when you have all the parts together, you have the right valuing in the right place, when you have the right use of the right people and the right work in the right conditions and the right assessment to get the right configuration, you have the right approach. So it's like the Buddha's Eightfold Path.
Yes, okay, yes.
And so the right configuration is linked to your strategy. The right assessment is linked to your path. The right approach is linked to your relationships. The right conditions is linked to your activities. The right work is linked to your job. The right people is linked to your gifts. The right use is linked to the resources. The right place is linked to the field. And the right valuing is linked to the right direction. So as you know, when you know the map underneath, you can, your mind is layering it, whether you know it or not. It's creating vertical integration. And so these words get placed in places, and then the mind starts to kind of use them, as you know, unconsciously. And as you see in this map, there's four circles. There's the blue circle here between right valuing and right place. Down here is the flow wheel between right use and right people. And then between right work and right conditions is the harmony wheel. And between right assessment and right configuration is the synergy wheel, plus 4 synergy wheels in the middle. So if you did a divination of this, you would put a card on top of each one of these. And then you're programming this particular right approach with a very specific pattern. So I did that for myself, and it can be done for anybody.
You would use this when? You used it for what? Just so people understand why you used it.
Well, this is kind of like looking at, we see now I have beliefs and realization, ownership, and divine will, and creativity, abundance, governance, and rules. So we've got governance, creativity, abundance, and rules. Governance, creativity, abundance, rules as a primary language telescope, and looking at realization, beliefs, ownership, and divine will. So it's two tetrahedrons.
Those were synergy wheels before, and now they're choice.
Yeah, this is a different map. It's like you can, again, configure anything with anything. Okay. And it's just whatever's the colors tells you what the pattern is. So because you know the colors, you can see that. Other people, they have no idea what we're talking about.
Yet. And perhaps one day when people are looking at this, they will.
So if you look right now, in all four quadrants, I'm in all four quadrants. So each of us has a designer, an organizer, a builder, and a promoter within us. And if we're by ourselves, we have to do all these things by ourselves. But as soon as you go to a team, then you need to get 3 others on your team that are doing these particular parts. So if I'm designing something, let's say, then someone else organizes it, someone else builds it, and someone else promotes it. But when you ask what do you need the map for, it's kind of like we're programming the right approach into our mind. And then, as you know, we can put values on top of these things, but that's a whole other layer.
Well, and I think just to clarify something for everybody, it's really important that you understand your mind works with sacred geometry, and you get yourself out of the way. And that's a really big feature and reason why you would use the inflow matrix to begin with.
Well, and this is kind of like a very advanced map. This has a very specific configuration that can be used with divination, programmed specifically for you with a universal sort of approach. I mean, to me, this is not something we're going to show beginners, right? Or
no, this would be so this is when we go into an organization and we're dealing with the 4 team, the 4 domain,
operations.
That's doing operations and setting up their team for whether it be an event or whatever their goal is. And then we set up. It's easy to have this picture. So that they know, okay, this person is doing this and this person is covering this section and this other person's doing that section, and we're all doing our part and we're looking after these things through this values lens, and we're doing this because we want the right approach for reaching this goal, said project or said goal.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So yeah, it's a little four-person team with a very specific focus point. So if you're the promoter, you're looking at conversations. If you're the builder, you're looking at activities. If you're the organizer, you're looking at events. And if you're the designer, you're looking at cycles.
Let's use this for our first workshop that we're going to do this year.
Sounds good. So that's just, I did that Friday night, and it all starts with one map, and then you make it in Illustrator, and then you change it, you do an output, you change it, you do an output, and so you keep on making the outputs, and I kept on, you can't make 1, you got to make 4, and then you can't make 4, you got to make 16, because you need all the permutations, and so it drives you completely nuts to think I'm doing one map, but in fact I have to do 72 just to do everything that I have to do with the map. Talk about insanity, eh?
Mm-hmm.
And here I am, I can barely finish a sentence and I'm bumping all over the place and thinking someone's going to understand me.
That's Elijah, that's why I'm here.
Oh God, please add, help, do
You do
something.
you do your thing, I'll do my thing, and it's gonna come together. We all have we all have our gifts and we all have our places and we fit in the bigger picture.
Okay, well, that's probably enough for this video. We'll load that one up.
Cheers, everybody. Bye.